Welcome back to Water Myth Wednesday. We're celebrating National Water Quality Month by busting one of our most common water-themed myths each week in August. Water myth number 2 is going to cause us to challenge a common beauty standard. Many people think a beautiful pond will have edges that look like this. True beauty would be a pond shoreline that looks like this instead. But we aren't just saying that. Native plants are an important part of a properly functioning shoreline. Turfgrass has very shallow roots that aren't effective at keeping soil in place. So a pond shoreline that starts like this quickly turns into an eroding shoreline that'll look like this. Erosion on your pond means that at best you're losing valuable property and filling in your pond with sediment. Or at worst, may lead to localized flooding when it rains. A healthy shoreline will use native plants with deep roots to anchor the soil to the shore, preventing it from eroding. The native plants also act like a net, catching litter before it winds up in the water. Plants taller than turfgrass will slow down runoff from yards, helping excess water soak into the ground and remove excess nutrients before it feeds the algae in your pond. So how can you create a beautiful pond edge? The easiest option is to create a no-mow zone around your pond, and a natural plant buffer will establish over time. Or you can use native plants that are well adapted to wet areas to create a beautiful shorescape that will prevent erosion and filter out pollutants from runoff. You can even design your shoreline and select plants based on your priorities, like aesthetics, wildlife habitat, or being pollinator friendly. If your HOA only allows mowed turf to the edge of a pond, and there's no chance at changing that rule, you might be able to install a floating wetland. A floating wetland consists of plants on a floating mat. The plant's roots extend directly into the pond water. While a floating wetland won't be as effective as a buffer at stopping erosion on your shoreline, it may help to reduce wave action in the pond, remove excess nutrients from the water, and help to shade the pond. If you need advice on creating a healthy pond buffer or creating a floating wetland, contact your local Clemson Extension water agent. You can also visit the Carolina Yards plant database at the attached link to answer a few questions and receive plant recommendations for your shoreline. I'll see you next week on Water Myth Wednesday.